he is unnecessarily writing down one Ramsamy in some spelling that he is writing. Once you come there you will see an MRF showroom. There don't turn. Don't tell me where I should not turn. Tell me where should I turn. And as you come, you will find there will be one Sony World. Cross that also. Now when he was looking at this side, Sony World has gone. And in searching for Sony World, Alma Mater is gone. Okay. But why did you tell him about something which need not be told at all? It's an art to tell somebody the address. So those of you who want to develop yourself into communicators, you should practice stories, and you have to practice how to guide somebody to some place. What are values? What are core values? Does values change over a period of time? Mahatma Gandhi followed a principle or a value called non-violence. He was able to practice it till the last breath. Is it mandatory to practice values till the end? Organizations say they practice values like honesty, but their actions are different. Why? How values are different from principles? Every FT comes with an article on the last page, Alma Mater values. Do we need so many values? One of the central lessons that has been taught in different languages by most religion is do unto others what you want others do unto you. I don't know whether all of us can really practice that. Nice value. Do unto others what you want others do unto you. But whether we practice it or not, that is how your intelligence is designed. The moment I expect anything from the world, a standard is automatically set within me, which becomes the basis of my personal right and wrong. I don't expect you to hit me. The moment I have formed this expectation that you should not hit me, that becomes the standard in my own intelligence. That is how the knower within me is groomed. Immediately a base is set. Hitting is wrong. You will be judged by the judgments you form of the world. You will be judged by the expectations you have from the world. From now onwards, if you hit anybody to your intelligence, you are wrong. That's why we go through a split. Sometimes when the knower within us says we should not have hit and the doer within us has hit, and later you feel guilty that you hit. How this entire split has come about is your expectation that nobody else should hit you. Because the very basis by which you will be judged, you are judged by the standards you set for the world. You cannot escape it. Design. Immaculate design. It's not about your father and mother, or it's not about your religion. Your own base standards on how the world should respond to you keeps evolving all the time based on whatever you expect. I expect others to be honest with me. And the moment I develop that, that becomes the standard. So now onwards, whenever you are dishonest, you can feel the split within you. I don't expect anybody to be honest. It's not practical to be honest. So I don't expect anybody to be honest. Let them speak what they want to speak in those moments. Which means nobody needs to be true in their communication. If nobody is true in their communication, nobody is true in their thought process. If nobody is true in the thought process, there is no true relationships in life. But I'm okay with it. Now you will not expect honesty out of yourself. But it's difficult for you to not expect this from others because you want people to be true to you. Otherwise you will not be able to value that relationship, and in expecting people to be true to you, you've already created, and it is not design. And I think Right now, what I'm celebrating more than anything else in all the teaching is explaining to people the architecture of life. What architecture, what design, what class, what precision, what intelligence behind this entire design. And one such exceptional architecture in the design of life, especially in the design of a human being, is in the instant I expect something from you. See, lack of punctuality is not something that's going to frustrate you till you expect the world to be punctual with you. When he says, I'll come at 3 o'clock, you expect him to come at 3 o'clock. And from now onwards, for a 3 o'clock meeting, when you go at 3:30, it'll hurt you. But you're not expecting anybody who tells you I'll come at 3 o'clock to come at 3 o'clock. A roundabout, if they come, it's okay. For you also, going late will not hurt you. But with every expectation you develop from the world, each of these expectations will become your base standard. And you will be judged by the standards you have set for the world. You cannot escape that. As a result, every time when there is a split between the knower within you, a knower that has been groomed by the base standards of expectation you expect from the world, and the doer within you which is not able to live up to the expectations from my own self, though I expect this from the world, that split is what? Is the guilt, the disturbance, the loss of peace you go through. Every moment or any moment there is a split between the knower in you and the doer in you. In that split you are not peaceful. So basically, why should I transcend guilt? Why should I transcend split? Why should I live as an integrated personality? The basic reason for all this is, in split you lose your peace. And anything you gain in life at the loss of your peace is not gain at all. Anything. Relationship, materialistic wealth, habits, learning, whatever it is, that which you think is a gain at the cost of your peace is not gain at all. So the only way I can be peaceful is the number of moments I create for myself where there is no split between the knower within me and the doer within me. And the only way I can live a life transcendental of that split, always retaining my peace in life, is somewhere the standards of expectations I hold from the world, I have to live up to those standards. Can we drop expecting from the world? We cannot. Even if in this maturity right now you decide, from now onwards I'm not going to expect anything from the world, I still think it's a beautiful place to start. One relationship in your life from which you will not expect anything anymore, and because attitudes do not care, over a period of time maybe you will expect less and less from most relationships. And how much ever you grow, still all of you will be in one stage. Say, Rajan, I don't expect anything from anywhere. I am able to accept. But this one relationship I expect. And this one relationship, when my expectations are not met, it disturbs me. You might eventually come to that stage. Buddhas transcend their expectation from everybody. Till we reach that stage, there will be expectations either from all, or from some, or at least from one. But even if you mature at this maturity, the expectations you already had in the process of growing up have all become your basic standards right now. And by those standards, you will be judged. By your own self. You cannot escape it. So what are values? Values are preformed guiding system to help me to escape this split. For example, let us say I develop a value that I always want to be on time once I have made a commitment. I develop this value. This is basically my defense navigation system, where by practicing this, I will not have to lose my peace whenever I don't go on time. So these standards of expectations I have developed from the world, when I can frame that into an intellectual understanding, some thought process within me, some communication within me, from the world I always feel they can do more. And I hate to listen to them. Because of this I could not do, because of that I could not do. I don't want to expect from this world. So I believe the world should go beyond excuses. This is an expectation I have. When I want something, you don't come and offer me excuses. This is an expectation you have. Now every time you offer an excuse for what you cannot do, you'll feel that split within you. So I form a value. I'll vaccinate myself against excusitis. Once I make a commitment, he said he'll make the payment on Friday. And when he says Friday, I expect him to make on Friday. And when he didn't make on Friday, it really disturbs. Because thinking he'll make on Friday, I have committed to somebody else on Saturday. This expectation, disturbance you go through, it disturbs your peace. So now onwards, whenever you have told somebody, I'll make a payment on Friday, and you don't make, you will still go through disturbance of peace. Which means whether the market tells you Friday and don't stand by Friday, or you tell Friday and don't stand by Friday, you will evade, you will lie, you will escape the phone call, you will say it's already done, I'm coming, you will say I'm sick, stomach upset, I'm not able to come, VIP has come, so I cannot do, you will say all these things. But the fact is, do you go through loss of peace? You will go through loss of peace. So I develop a value. Once I make a commitment, I will not give myself another choice. And over a period of time, you keep reminding yourself, this is just a defense navigation system for you to save yourself from the split that you'll go through and thereby preserve the peace with which you can live your life. So when I form certain values and when I start following those values, that's the point. When I start following those values, I've created the defense and navigation system for myself by which I can preserve my peace and save myself from the split that I'll go through. At various points of time, answering that question, do values change? Yes, they do change. They change because the way I looked at the world and what I expected from the world at that level of maturity, and from the level of maturity with which I'm living my life, I feel I can revisit some of the expectations I have from the world. Rajan, I'm no more thinking what my parents can do for me. And yet there was a time you had those, I'm only thinking what I can do for them. And what starts as an attitude can grow into a stage where I'm no more thinking what the world can do for me. I'm only looking at what I can do for the world. And now that I feel that I'm not expecting anything from the world, but I'm looking at what I can do for the world, a shift in the value system comes in there. You have revisited some of the standards by which you have been living your life. You either drop those standards or you have upgraded those standards. And as a result, there is a shift in the value with which I look at it. So now if you don't do it, it doesn't disturb me. And because it doesn't disturb me, sometimes I look at what all I can do to others, even though I realize I may not be able to do for everybody. I still find the satisfaction that I'm able to do for those what I'm able to do. But when I expected everybody in the world to do something for me, even if I did a lot to a few people, that I did not do a lot to everybody, still disturbs me. But it doesn't disturb me anymore because I have understood the practicality of I can't expect everybody to keep doing something for my happiness. So I also realize I cannot make everybody happy in the world, but I feel satisfied with all those I'm able to keep happy. If all the values are subjected to evolution with evolution of your maturity, then what is you? The question itself is the answer. What's my core? So somewhere I know no matter what changes, something about me will never change. If ever you get to hear from the world that, see, Rajan used to shout a lot in the class. He no more shouts. You have a chance to believe. Maybe over a period of time, from a time when he thought that, this is the only way to empower everybody. I think he has found out ways by which he can teach without having to scream. And you have to believe it's like that only now. From a time when Rajan was always serious to a time, in fact, a lot of you have come into Alma Mater in the last few years will not even be able to understand that I won't even smile. Forget about making you laugh. Very serious. And from a time that there is no subject is ever taught without everybody laughing in the entire process, here there is an evolution. Suppose somebody in the world ever comes and tells you that Rajan from now onwards has agreed to allow latecomers to come inside. Even you won't believe. That's my core value. Doesn't matter how much about me change, something about me will not change. When somebody in the world comes and tells you that It seems they have decided to make Alma Mater very big, and something about Alma Mater is going to dramatically change. So Rajan has decided from now onwards he will not hug people. Then you know, certain core values don't change. We have to respect customers. It's a core value in your business. However big you are, I can tell this to some of your businesses. Your respect for a customer who walks in will not change. It will remain the same. And that will not shift. That's a core value. When temptation and situation demands, in those moments, I somehow let a lot of things go for a toss. But I know some of you sitting here, where your core values, you will not trade your character for anything in the world. And I'm blessed to know some of you in this world, where you will not trade it for anything. I don't think that can be said about. They have a value for character. You still can't call it core value because certain circumstances and situations can make them manipulate that during this. It's like temporarily keeping that value and pause and going through everything and then taking the dress and wearing it again. So something about you does not change no matter what about you changes. Those are your core values. There are organizations which says we are value based and we should be honest, but they don't practice it. I think it will always remain a human challenge of living up to the standards you set for yourself. As much as it's going to be a challenge for the world to live up to the standards you expect from the world, you will always have this challenge, and this is a human challenge. It's not about you. The Kshatriya, considered the bravest of brave, went through a moment of covered eyes and he was not sure whether he should be fighting or not. He psychologically crumbled. There were moments he was not able to live up to the standards he has set for himself. Fortunate it was, Krishna was there to lift him. If Krishna was not there, he would have gone home. And this will be a lifelong striving. It's a human predicament. It's not your predicament. It's a human predicament of striving to live up to the standards that you have set for yourself. So organizational disintegration, as long as you know we are striving to bridge the gap between what I believe in, like what Mahatma Gandhi said, to believe in something and not practice it is the greatest dishonesty. You don't believe in it, it's okay. To believe in it and not practice it is the greatest dishonesty. We can at least reduce the element of dishonesty in our life. It's a constant striving. Then what are principles? Thinkers at various points of time. Whether you will put them into the bracket of philosophers like Aristotle and Socrates, or social leaders who somehow lived up to the capability of their soul in actualizing and maximizing their life to proportions they alone could. Like the Mahatma Gandhis. Or people who stay connected to a transcendental force and allowed an happening to happen through them. The Buddhas and the Mahaviras. Men who could tune them into states of consciousness where in their silence the prevailing wisdom revealed unto them, like the rishis and the yogis. Every compilation of the Sanatana Dharma and the derivatives from that were revelations that happened to people when they held themselves in a state of silence in certain states of consciousness, and they enabled the prevailing wisdom to reveal itself through them. They all said, we have understood you. We know how you live your life. We know what will be your basic expectations. While everybody has individualistic expectations, there are a few universal expectations from which man does not escape. Like, I don't want anybody else to hurt me. None of us like people barging into our space and our freedom. Nobody. Somehow everybody, even if by nature you are somebody very interfering, you don't like others to interfere into your space and into your personal freedom. You don't like anybody to hurt you. You don't like anybody to abuse you. Certain basic expectations will remain. You don't like anybody to be dishonest with you. You cannot escape it. These are basic expectations of every human being. Individual expectations are there, but there are universal expectations. So these people who actualized and maximized their soul potential to the life that they lived said, we basically understand who you are. All of you sitting here, just think of a color. And the majority of you would have thought about red. And so there is something common between us. No matter how unique you are, think about a flower. Most of you would have thought about a rose. There is something common about us. How much ever we say we are all different, there is something common about us. And these evolved souls said, at least in areas that I know is common for all of you, you don't have to go through a lifetime of maturing to understand what value should guide you. We will give you certain principles of life. You just ensure you understand the value of these principles. As Dayananda Saraswati would always say, a value is a value only when the value of the value is valuable to you. You understand the value of that value. Otherwise it's not a value. Hearing a statement, you call that quotes. Hearing a statement, you say, oh, lovely statements. It becomes a value to you only when you understand the value of that value. And the value of that value is understood when you realize, not living by it, I won't be peaceful. If you don't respect people, which is your nature, or when you are not respected by people, which is your expectation, you are not going to be peaceful in life. Rajan, enakku mariyada mukkiyam. I am willing to trade a lot of things in life, but I am not willing to trade respect. For me it's important. And I can see that is how, because there is a value for it, and in your case I know you value that value, I can see you're very respectful towards everybody. And for you, one thing that disturbs you is when you feel not respected. So they just said, we will give you certain principles, and these are timeless. And this is common for every man. No man can ever say, but I don't think, like the principle itself of do unto others what you want others do unto you. Do not do unto others what you do not want others do unto you. Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. You don't like to be judged, then you stop judging, and the more and more you stop judging, the less and less the world will judge you. If you keep judging everybody, you're also going to be judged. You will not be able to escape that sort of an entrainment. Somebody who is perpetually judging somehow finds wherever you go, you are also being judged. Liberate yourself from it. Judge not, ye shall not be judged. Some timeless principles. They just told you, understand the value of it and make it your personal values. Make it your defense navigation system by which your life can be guided, and thereby you will be free from split and your peace can be preserved. Why there are so many values in Alma Mater? Do we need so many values in Alma Mater? Arjuna has to understand, as Kshatriya should fight and uphold righteousness. That one value if he has, it's enough. But Krishna will teach 18 chapters. There is no scarcity of understanding of life, so he will unfold the whole thing. So Alma Mater will teach you, whichever direction you are seeking that navigation system, in business, in leadership, in relationship, to stop worrying and start living, to be a powerful enlivening force, to live as a complete human being, time management, wherever you want a guidance. Yeah, here there are time-tested ways by which you can make this the value of your life and find that you are able to live a life beyond split and be peaceful. So it will teach you everything. But for me to live my life as an Arjuna, if I can build a few core values, which is what we discuss in every Top Gear. Right now, what is the mental philosophy that is guiding you in life? Hold on to one mental philosophy. A lot of mental philosophies are already a part of you. That's what we teach in every Top Gear. My family is looking at getting my sister married for past 1 year. They have seen few matches and selected a match. The boy is good, the family is decent, but the match did not go through because the horoscope did not tally. I feel we are really missing a very good match. Should we give much importance to horoscope? அதை பத்தி என்னன்னே தெரியாம இருந்தா நீ free. You can't listen to a speech and say from now onwards I will not match a horoscope. You can't do that. Now that somehow you feel horoscope matching is important, which any man's common intelligence will explain. If every marriage that happened only after a horoscope match, till the end, that is the only thing that matched. Again, I am not able to help but think of Apresh. Apresh only heard say, man was about to go to office and he was about to step, and suddenly one thundering reverberation came. Don't take that step forward. He kept it, and immediately he saw the girder from there fell down, and he knew he was saved. Whoever it is, thank you so much. Went, he was about to get into a double-decker bus, and again there was a thundering reverberation. Don't take that step forward. Later he came to know the bus met with an accident. He said, whoever that is, every time you came and saved my life, who are you? A reverberation came saying that, I'm obviously your God, my son. I have been preventing you from you taking all the wrong steps. Then where the hell were you when I got married? Okay. உள்ளேந்து வந்த சிரிப்பு இது. Certain laughters will come only after I check. Nobody is there, no. உள்ளேந்து வந்த சிரிப்பு. In the presence of love, everything matches. In the absence of it, nothing matches. All that is required is one person of unconditional love, resolute to create a relationship. Man believes he can build a new world. Can't one relationship be built? But if you give in to all this, that's what I'm saying from the beginning. Don't care about Ravagalam, Yamagandam, you are safe. Or completely believe in it, you are safe. I'm going in Ravagalam, I hope everything goes right. So and it's not Ravagalam, Yamagandam. That lack of conviction in your thought process will make you fall. According to this horoscope, they say if this marriage goes through, it will end in a divorce. But anyhow, I'm going ahead. I don't believe in all this, but simply I want to show my hand. Yeah. Why you have to show? Either believe and show, or put it in the packet and count your balls and leave it at that. Why show the hand and then say I don't believe in all this? Why unnecessarily write Wednesday will be a bad day for you? Why read that? You decide all days will be good day for you, and it will actually turn out to be a good day. And Wednesday you will skid and fall, and your thought process will tell you something bad would have happened, only so much has happened, it's a good day. But if you read that, you won't even fall. It will slightly skid. Pottunna, vilunda, manda odanjinda, ipdiye pohum. Edhukku padikkanum adha? See, till we reach a stage where I will only hold the thoughts I want to hold, and I'll only hold the feelings I want to hold. No given circumstances, anything outside of me can affect my magnet. My magnet will always be right. Then anything is okay. But when your magnet gets shaken up on all these inputs, and then I think there's no point in peeping into all this. But now that you feel you're part of a family which believes in a horoscope, there's no reprieve for you. You cannot help it. You have to only go through the whole thing until the strawberry finds a strawberry. This whole process will go on. Don't believe in it. In fact, I refuse. I put my foot down and said, I will not give my horoscope under any circumstances, especially to a person then where I knew that his brothers are very established Brahmin practitioners, Brahmin priests. They have done everything inside a temple, looked up to for what they have contributed to the whole thing. And knowing very well he is from that family, I still said, I will not give my horoscope. I can build my marriage. Whoever it is, I'll build my marriage. But I'm not going into this. I have faith in me. And I put my head down and I still can't understand. He was so much convinced about it, but he said, let's go ahead. And he said, I like his nose, so we'll get married. I don't know what it is, but that is how the whole thing went through. And I think we have a role model of a marriage today, and horoscope was not even touched. In fact, once later they asked, now that everything is through, can we match and see? இப்போ எதுக்கு புது பிரச்சனை? எல்லாம் ஒழுங்கா தானே போயிட்டு இருக்கு. So the point is this, there is nothing called half belief. Either you can be free from believing something, or in your own good, believe it completely. In life there is nothing called half a belief. You're inside or you're outside. You can't be in between. Love you so much. Thank you.